What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a brand new one for you guys. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing great, man. New York's getting ready to open back up fully in about 3 weeks. So it's about to get crazy out here. So I'm take advantage of my time outside before, the heathens get out there, start getting crazy.
You knew it was only a matter of time.
Oh, yeah. Funny how, Cuomo gets these sexual conduct allegations. Now all of a sudden New York opens up.
Yeah, well, he had to do something, right? Take the
spotlight.
Take the heat off him. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, let's get right into it. I mean, we had the NFL draft, this past weekend. Your Jets had the second pick. How you feeling? How you feeling about what they did, man?
Yeah, I thought they filled some needs. Obviously, after the Darnold trade, everyone knew that they were going quarterback. So Zach Wilson, no surprise there. Second quarterback off the board after Trevor Lawrence. I did like the move to get Vera Tucker, help protect Wilson. You don't want to have a Joe Burrow situation where you get a rookie quarterback in there and, maybe show some promise and it's just getting beat up. Kind of want to allow him to succeed early on, have some success and not have to hit some of those, down spots like Darnold hit. Getting hit, not having time to throw, maybe not having the right weapons. They drafted Elijah Moore with their second round pick, which I really like that pick. I felt like he dropped quite a bit, based on some of the pundits and then, what we were looking at from our mock draft as well. Didn't think he'd make it out of the first round. So, I like what they did with the first three picks. And then, they grabbed a cornerback from Kentucky. I felt like they did what they could to address the needs. They probably overpaid a little bit for Vera Tucker, but they had the assets to do it. So why not?
Of the picks, who do you think is going to be the biggest impact player besides the quarterback?
I'm kind of, although he was a late pick, I'm kind of excited to see what this cornerback from Kentucky does. I saw he somehow got a hold of what he was posted on I think Twitter. So kind of dug into him a little bit more. It seems like he's got a kind of a chip on his shoulder, and I think that they need the help in the secondary there. So I think that they'll be solid. And then let's see what Elijah Moore can do. He's first round talent that they got early second round. I know it's going to be kind of maybe a little bit of a loaded wide receiver core for the Jets this year, but if the injuries are anything like last year, I think he'll get a shot.
Nice. Who was your least favorite of the picks?
The Jets picks? Yeah. Ooh. You know what? To be honest, I didn't hate any of them. They grabbed Michael Carter, running back in the fourth round, and they grabbed Michael Carter, cornerback in the fifth round. Yeah, I didn't really hate any of their picks, to be honest. I don't know if I were to pick. Oh man, I don't even know. Maybe the linebacker out of Auburn, but it's a fifth round pick, so at that point, it's I don't think it's a big reach there. But no, I felt like they hit what they needed early on. QB, line, wide receiver, grab the running back. I think you get good value in those kind of later round running backs, anyways. We talked pre-draft about Etienne. He might be a good fit for them with that playmaking ability and having a rookie quarterback. Obviously, he went to Jacksonville, which I thought was a bit of a reach, especially with Jacksonville's backfield. But, maybe it was a comfort thing for Trevor Lawrence. But, yeah, I really like their draft, which I don't say very often with the Jets.
Nice. I mean, I was kind of iffy about the Giants draft.
I would say, what's your take?
So here's the thing, right? If I had to grade it, I'd probably give them a B+. I can't go in the A range because they moved back. So, I mean, we really don't know what those picks will turn out to be until next year. And then the fact that of the picks they picked, we needed offensive line help, and they didn't get any offensive linemen. So that was a kind of a little head scratcher for me. But, I mean, the pick at 20 to get Tony was it wasn't a bad pick because, if Smith would have fell, they probably would have picked Smith at 11. But that was odd too. The Cowboys traded with the Eagles. That might have been the first in division trade I've seen in decades. That's one of the no-nos you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
but it looks like Dallas didn't want Smith going to the Giants. Basically because their defense is terrible. It's going to be very hard for them to stop people. But it's like I said before, it's all going to come down to Daniel Jones to see what he can do. They got all the offensive weapons for him. Hopefully the O-line shows up, so he's not getting sacked so much. And then they're going to build on that defense. I like the 4th-round pick they got, and I think the guy's name is Smith. Yeah, Ellerson Smith. He's like a linebacker, 6'7", like 250. I like the size, just because when we talked about off air, I wanted them to get Gregory from Miami, but he had I think he went like the pick or two right before or after. So I thought they could have got him, and then in the 2nd round came back and got the defensive tackle for Alabama. But it's not my team, unfortunately. But but like I said, but if the trade down to get the Chicago 1st-round pick, and Chicago tanks next year, that's gonna be a top pick. Maybe they use that to get the defensive end from Oregon. He's gonna be like the top defensive player next year, or quarterback if Daniel Jones doesn't turn out. Next year they got 2 1s, they got 2 3s, and 2 4s, I think.
Yeah. It almost seemed like a little bit of a panic on Gettleman when I think just the whole transpiring of Dallas trading out to Philly. And then I think you're right. I think they probably had Smith ready to go, and when Philly jumped up and took Smith, I think Gettleman just panicked and was trying to find anyone they could to trade with. And maybe he had Chicago in his back pocket that wanted to move up for Justin Fields, but it just seemed like so for a guy who's never traded back, it was just kind of a weird move. So I think you're right. He probably had like a few guys targeted, and they both went, and he went, I'm going to trade back and try to grab something for next year too.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would have done something petty and drafted Michael Parsons, being that the Cowboys wanted him, just because they messed up our receiver. But
yeah, but they probably got a guy they wanted, and then they got that second 1st-round pick next year.
Yeah, so it's gonna be key to see if what that turns out to, as far as if the Bears are one of the worst teams in the league, or the Giants. I mean, we still don't know. The verdict is still out on Daniel Jones if he can be a starting quarterback or not. So this is make it or break it here. I mean, if not, we still got 2 1st-round picks to possibly get a quarterback or move up next year's draft if need be.
Yep, absolutely.
Outside of our teams, what other teams did you like? What they did in the draft?
I thought the Dolphins did a good job with their picks. Grabbing Waddle early, guy that Tua was familiar with. Grabbing, I think who'd they grab with their other pick there?
The defensive end from Miami, from Phillips.
Yeah, was it Jalen Phillips?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a good pick for them, and I just felt like they just had a solid draft. Yeah, they got that was the other one, the safety out of Oregon.
Yeah, he was a
Javon Holland, and then
he was an opt-out top guy.
Yep. And then the tackle that they grabbed from Notre Dame too. I know he was kind of.
I think he was opt-out too.
He was, but he was moving. But
he's a top.
He was moving up draft boards there, and So I thought that they had a really good draft.
Oh yeah, I felt like they were one of the teams that had a great draft. I like what Cleveland did. I like what they did in the offseason too. They pretty much beefed up that defense. Then there were some other teams. I like what the Chargers did, but I mean they just went to get offensive line to protect the quarterback, because I think he was sacked the most. Even though he had a phenomenal year, it's gonna be interesting to see how they look. Outside of that, I didn't know, as far as bad teams, I didn't know what the Raiders were doing with that pick. It seems like they just wasted all those picks they got from Khalil Mack when they traded for Khalil Mack.
Yeah, that was one I just really didn't understand. I think that he was like maybe a mid to late second rounder for most people.
Yeah, some people even had him as a third. I was like, what?
I thought that was a weird one. I'm with you on Cleveland. I think that they set out to get the guys they wanted. And yeah, they're the Raiders. Raiders doing Raiders things. I actually did feel like they got a pretty good the safety there from TCU, Morig. I thought they got him in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, but then they drafted another safety like right after it. It was like
the kid from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't understand. It just didn't make sense. I mean,
yeah, they're all over the place.
I understand they need defense, but why would you go to the same position? I understand you went like corner, safety, and they didn't really need offensive line help. I mean,
yeah,
they pretty much had a good offensive line. I mean, the
Yeah, they
only
lost. They lost a couple guys. Or they traded one, and then they had Trent Brown, right? And he got traded to the Patriots.
oh yeah, but I mean, I felt like their big issue is that the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you're going against the Chiefs twice a year. I mean, you're gonna need somebody to stop. You got to stop these teams.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think. I kind of like I like what the Chiefs did as well. I mean, they pretty much went all offensive linemen.
Yep.
So, they really addressed their issue through free agency and through the draft. I wasn't so sure about that linebacker they picked on with their second pick, but overall, I felt like they did a good job.
Yeah.
I felt like Baltimore should have got another receiver with that first round pick, but hey, well, we're gonna see what happens.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
And then outside of the draft, I mean, your boy Aaron Rodgers, man, he said, "I'm packing. I'm not coming back here, man. I need to get me out of here."
That
And
might
so,
have been the biggest talk of the draft. It came out probably around noon on Thursday that he was done with Green Bay and wanted out. So
oh yeah,
what's your take? What do you think? What do you think he's going? What do you think he's doing? What do you think Green Bay should do?
I mean, at this point, Green Bay, you got to trade him. Let alone, I mean, you didn't even get a wide receiver to like the fourth or third round. Supposedly, they said, it's been a back and forth between him and the organization for a while, even before the last season started, of him trying to get out of there. But, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. If he would have did it a little sooner, I heard the 49ers did call about him prior, right before the draft started, but there wasn't any response. So, they went ahead and drafted a quarterback. But I'm hearing rumors right now that Denver might be an option. They need a quarterback. And from what I hear, the Packers are not looking to trade him in the NFC. So that might be the only one. One of the other teams I can see him going. I don't know where else other teams were looking to be giving up draft picks for him at this point.
Yeah, I heard a few rumors today. I'm just wondering what the price will be, right? So if you're not going to go to the NFC, you're looking at, like you said, Denver, maybe the Raiders. I heard, could the Raiders do a first and a second next year, a first the year after, and Derek Carr and Darren Waller for Rodgers. Derek Carr basically to hold over for a year until Jordan Love. They can figure out what to do with Jordan Love. So and then you have the first round picks there in case you need to draft another quarterback. So I'm guessing it'll probably take a couple firsts and maybe a player. The other one I heard you might like is the Giants, if they could do because the Giants have 2 firsts next year now. Could you do the 2 firsts for the Giants and maybe like a second somewhere in there and then Danny Dimes. So it's I think you're right though. I think they have to move from him now. His value is just going to go down. Coming off a huge year. Obviously, doesn't want to be there. You could still probably get a king's ransom for him now, but if you wait any longer, who knows?
Oh yeah, that's the thing because I mean, it's not really many teams in the AFC I could say that need a quarterback. I mean,
the only other one that's interesting is could you swap Rodgers for Watson and then throw in like a first round pick or something? Actually, I think probably Green Bay would have to throw in a first round pick. But is there something like that you could do?
yeah, possibly. But the thing is are people willing to put up with that Deshaun Watson? Not to say headache, but situation he's going through.
If he can, if he's not suspended by the league, these guys put up with a lot more than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, being that if they don't want to trade him into the NFC, I mean, there's not many options for him to go as far as possible teams that would want him. I mean, we joked around about the Patriots. That would be an interesting one. But I don't know if Bill's willing to give up picks like that for a quarterback. But I'm sure they would love to have him. And then all the other teams, like I said, I mean, the Bengals got a quarterback, the Browns got a quarterback, Steelers, Ravens, Colts, Jacksonville, they've got a quarterback, Titans. So, I mean, everyone pretty much has a quarterback in the AFC. NFC, that's a different story. Maybe football, Washington football team, that would be an option.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the Giants. There's a bunch of other teams that would be interested in that, especially in the NFC, as far as quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think that obviously the market's bigger there in the NFC, but if it's something where you don't want to, the only place you'd want to see him is the Super Bowl, then they said that before though with Favre too, and they went to the Jets for a year and then he was back in Minnesota. So I mean, really, what did you accomplish there other than not getting full value for a guy like Favre?
Oh yeah, but like I said, it all depends on like you said, what's the asking price?
Mm-hmm.
What does he go for? And then whatever he goes for, how much of a domino effect that has on the Deshaun Watson trade.
Yeah, for sure.
Then outside of that, it really wasn't much in the NFL. I don't know if you saw they had Michael Vick. He ran a 40 time for a charity. Ran like a 4.7 at 40 years old.
That's still pretty good.
If you think about it, that's probably like if he were in the NFL, he'd probably be still in the top 10 as fast as probably top 5 as fast as quarterbacks. I don't think any of the quarterbacks ran that fast besides maybe Deshaun, Jackson. Damn, that might be it.
Danny Dimes is sneaky fast.
Yeah, but I don't think he ran a 4.7. I think he might have ran a 4.9 or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, I thought he was faster than that. I thought he was like in the 4.6 range. Nope, you're right. 4.82.
Yeah, he'd be up there, definitely top 5 fastest quarterbacks in the league at that age, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Where do you think Jimmy G's going? You think he's staying in San Francisco? You think he's they're going to try to look to trade him? What do you think?
As far as Jimmy G, I think he might be done.
Kind of damning to draft a guy 3rd overall.
Well, I mean, not even for the 49ers. I mean, he might be done, period.
You think so?
If Trey Lance comes out blazing, and then not to mention if the Mac attack in New England, return of the Mac Jones comes out and he's killing things out in New England. Where does Garoppolo fit? I mean, he doesn't stay healthy. He's kind of in that Alex Smith range as quarterbacks. Even though Alex Smith was much healthier and played a lot more games. I mean, he's like a lesser version of Alex Smith when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Due to injuries, he hasn't really played that many. He hasn't really started that many games. Outside of the, those 2-3 years he's been in. Might have been a little longer than the 49ers. But I mean, he can get to the Super Bowl, but he's gonna need a lot of coaching.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the right situation, he's fine. I think he'll suffice, right? I think where does he land? It's kind of a difficult one. I think you're right. That's a tough one. I know that New Orleans has signed Jameis and they got Taysom Hill there, but what about somewhere like that with a guy like Sean Payton?
Well, supposedly, I mean, I heard there was teams. The Saints were asked about Aaron Rodgers, but they said they're not really looking to move off of Hill and what they have now with Jameis. So I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the thing about now with quarterbacks, like you got to get right. If you're a quarterback, you got to perform. Because teams after 2-3 years of not enough production, teams will replace you quick.
Yeah.
And there's it seems like the quarterback market is becoming very competitive in the NFL compared to previous years where there was only maybe like 10 teams that had a good quarterback or that were like irreplaceable. Now anyone's irreplaceable. And now it's probably like maybe only five or 6 quarterbacks that are like guaranteed a starting spot.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's definitely quick hooks these days. They don't give you time. They can't afford to. If you don't have a decent starting quarterback, you're toast.
Yeah, and because after that rookie contract, they really don't want to pay you unless you're one of the top quarterbacks.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes as if Trey Lance can how quick Trey Lance can transition to starting quarterback, and how they look as a team. Because if he comes out and he's not doing good, I mean they're probably gonna go to him quick. Because with that defensive roster, that offense, I mean they pretty much could have went back to the Super Bowl, but I mean he was out. They had a bunch of injuries, so
yeah, yep.
And then on to the NBA. I mean we had LeBron come back. AD came back. Looks like they're still struggling.
LeBron's out for the rest of the week.
Oh, yes. It looks like they're going to be playing that playing game. I know he was pissed off about it. But, hey.
Don't put yourself in that situation. I mean, the Celtics are right there with them. And, no one from Boston is blaming anyone but themselves. If you can't win 1 of 2 games, right, I mean, that's all you have to do, right? When you're in the 7 or 8 seed, you need to win 1 out of 2 games.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't understand why he was so upset about it, talking about somebody needs to get fired. I mean, if you're a 7, 8, 9, I mean, you just got to win 1. It's not like you're playing a 7-game series,
right?
And then for some of the teams that played a playing game, that was like their warm-up game. That helped them, get some momentum into the actual playoffs, like Portland did. But then they ran into the Lakers. Yeah, so I mean, And then I just don't understand why people complain about it. I mean, it's not like that one extra game is gonna
No, I
you
think
know.
I think I think the issue with it in the NBA is these guys, and I think Draymond Green has been kind of vocal about it too, even though he's on the kind of the other side of it. I think it's just these guys play this season 72 games, but most of the time 82 games. They don't want to spend a whole season fighting for that playoff spot to then especially the what is it the 7-8 spot to then lose in that 7-8 game and then potentially lose against the 9 or 10 seed, whoever wins that one. So I think that's their issue is that they play the whole season, and then if they have two bad games, they're out. Where they would normally have a 7-game series. Not that and you and I both know this, and most very rarely in history has a 7 or 8 seed beat a 1-2 seed. So I mean, I like what the NBA did, make a little more excitement at the bottom seed. Those teams, very rarely make it out of the first round anyway. So, I mean, this is obviously a different case with LeBron and AD being out for a while. It's not the same Lakers team, but that's the breaks.
Oh yeah. On to the climbing the rankings. I mean, we got the Nuggets. They're right now to the 3rd seed. Joker's killing it. Probably looking like he might take away the MVP. I mean, they're a few games back from 2nd and 3rd. I don't know if they'll catch those teams. But without Jamal Murray, I mean, he's stating his claim. And Michael Porter Jr. stepped up. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how they match up and who they match up with come playoff time.
Yeah, no, they've been playing great. I mean, only behind Utah and Phoenix right now. Like I said, the Joker's been awesome. MVP season. Probably gonna run away with it. But the West looks strong. Actually, the Lakers are in the 5 seed right now. What's LeBron crying about? They're one game out of the play-in game right now, but the Mavericks need to keep winning. Yeah, it's it should be an exciting. I think there's 7 games left, 8 games left, something like that.
Yep.
See how this all plays out. Your Knicks are sitting pretty there in the 4 seed, playing really really good b-ball lately. They had their 7-game win streak snap, but they've won 3 since then. Just playing really good ball. I think the Sixers are playing good. I think it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out in the in the playoffs, though. It's just a different game.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, your boy Westbrook, he's been leading his team to a hot little streak. I mean, they snuck in. They're probably at the 10th spot.
Yep, they're in the 10th spot right now. Yep.
So I mean, they would get a playing game. I mean,
yeah, Westbrook's on a tear right now. Last night 24 assists and 21 rebounds. He's been tearing it up. Bringing that team out. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Really on a roll here. Makes it a little scary, with them being there in the 10th spot. But hopefully, the Celtics can sneak up into the 5 holes somehow, or at least if they have to play the playing game, play the Hornets and beat them and just get into that, lock in that 7 seed.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think playoffs start May 18th. Well, those are the playing games that weekend, the 18th to 21st. And then we got the playoffs the following week. So, I mean, we're like 2 weeks away. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams finish out. I mean, it doesn't look like I don't know what the Pelicans is making, man. They might be on the outside looking in, man.
Yeah, I think they will be, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know what else they have to do to get over that little hump.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I guess we'll see what kind of moves they make in the offseason here. But you got Zion, I mean, you got BI, you got a good decent foundation there. They just gotta, I don't know, maybe it's defense. They gotta stop somebody.
Yeah, that's one of the issues. They gotta sell out defense. Doesn't seem like they have been. So that's the main thing. They've been getting a lot of good picks too. So I mean, I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to lead the charge defensively to get some stops, whether it be Zion or BI. I don't know.
Damn, they got James Johnson's making $17 million a year. That's insane. Yeah, they need help defensively. And then, yeah, like you said, have BI take the charge with Zion, doing Zion things, and see what they can do next year.
Yeah, if not, I mean, it's going to be coming to the Knicks soon, but,
So you're hoping they don't do anything?
No, I guess.
I know you like watching those guys play.
Yeah, I like watching Zion play, really. I mean, he's pretty much a walking highlight.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I don't know if it's the coach or I don't know. Maybe I don't know, because I feel like if it was like when he was in Duke, him and RJ were playing fine. And And some people complained at times that RJ was the one taking too many shots. Some people say that now about BI. So I mean, but they were still winning, even though it was college. I mean, I'm sure he knows how to play with someone that's kind of similar to that. And I feel like they don't really run plays for him like compared to certain players. But I don't know what it is, man.
Yeah, I don't either. Give me your baseball take, your early season take here. 30 games into the season.
30 games this season. There's a lot of injuries. I know that.
There's a lot of injuries.
I mean, the Yankees are pretty much at 500 now. Right now, they're tied 3-3 with the Houston Astros. So that they've kind of turned it around a little bit. They're like 3 games back from first from, in the division from the Red Sox. 4 games back from leading the AL. So I mean, it's kind of like we thought. They would turn it around. They were a little rusty at first, but it's gonna be interesting to see. I see the Dodgers were struggling a little bit, but it looks like they picked it back up. I mean, they're right there in the top 3 of the NL. So it's all going to come down to I think it's going to come down to placements. Where teams finish, and then those matchups there, because you're going to want to be in a favorable matchup, and because you don't want to be playing somebody that gets hot towards the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm surprised how I guess even it's been. You know what I mean? It seems like there's a lot of parity. Like no one's really way out of anything except for maybe the Rockies are already 8 games back in the West. But the West is tough with the Giants, Padres, and Dodgers. The Central in the NL, and I think all 3 divisions, well outside of Detroit, in the AL are all really tight early on. No one's really the Red Sox seemed like they were gonna kind of run away with it there for a little bit, and they've come back to life, come back to earth. So I think it's I think like you said, it's wide open. Who can stay healthy? Ton of injuries. Both sides of the ball. Pitching and guys in the field. So, but yeah, I think Mike Trout continues to have a dominant year, even though the Angels are in the basement in the AL West. I just want his team to be good so bad because he's just such a good player. He's batting .410 on the season. Like he's just having like a ridiculous season so far. Like it's sad that he kind of gets buried.
Yeah, I mean they got, I don't know what they got. They got to do a better job at drafting or developing prospects. I'm surprised he didn't leave when he got the chance. But
I mean, he's what, 27 years old, 28 years old, living in Southern California. They're offering you $500 million. I mean, why not?
Yeah, but then I think at some point it comes down to like, do you want the money or you want to win? I mean, I don't blame him for $500 million. You might not get that anywhere on another team.
You get it in New York. He's a Yankee fan.
Yeah, I mean that would have been great to see him on the Yankees, but it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I kind of think like it seems like all the sports teams have been the records have been tight from the first COVID season, post COVID season, as far as wins, losses. Look at the NBA, pretty much all the teams are separated by 3 to 4 games.
Yep.
Because some of the preseason stuff has been cut. So maybe that had effect on it. People are kind of getting back into the swing of things. Maybe COVID has affected a lot of people more than we thought. We just don't know it yet. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, how baseball goes from here. It hasn't really been that dominant one team that we thought this season as far as baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be it. We'll see. It's a long year, obviously. Things start to pick up, in towards the end of June. Going into July, you start to kind of weed out the bad teams. So we'll see. Early season.
Oh yeah. And it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. JD's Brights and Brew. Got another brand new one for you. Get your pens and pencils ready for these new recipes and get ready to have some brew. What you got for us?
All right. So for today, we're going with a little Italian dish. Did a healthy version of a chicken piccata. Typically has a lot of butter, fried chicken. So this was kind of an interesting one in that only used half of the side of the chicken for the flour. So just a little bit of flour on to get the fry going. Fried it in oil instead of butter. So try to keep it a little bit healthier. Fried up sauce is basically low sodium chicken stock with white wine and lemon, and then let that kind of boil down a little bit, and then throw in the butter at the end. So use only a little bit of butter for flavor, and put it over a little bit of cavatappi pasta. So it was good. It was delicious. I haven't made that in a while. It used to be one of my favorite things to make.
Oh, nice. Well, would you drink that down with?
So the beer of the week is comes from, I think we did this brewery a couple weeks ago, but they had just another one that so we did this brewery a couple weeks ago, but they just had another one that I'd gotten a hold of that was sounded delicious. So it's called Schmucker Up Buttercup. It's from Transcend down in Southington, Connecticut, known for their kind of fruited smoothie sours. I think we've had a few on here before.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a peanut butter and jelly sour ale. So this one will kind of bring you back to the the days of eating peanut butter and jellies at school. It's kind of like crazy how much it tastes like the aftertaste is like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think Tom still eats 2 of those a day for lunch, so he probably knows it really well. I know that's his go-to. But yeah, it's an interesting taste. But I think these guys do it well. So I thought it was delicious. So I'd probably throw it at like an 8.1.
Oh, nice. That's not bad.
No, it was a good one. And the can looks like a Smucker's jelly can, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, nice. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I think Amazon needs to. Is that lady throwing up? Oh shit! I don't know if you've seen the Yankees game.
Yeah, watching it right now.
I don't know if you've seen that lady. Look like she was throwing up in a little.
No,
joint
I
over
didn't see it.
Yeah, this lady right here.
What are you watching? Oh, I'm watching on ESPN. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, she's blowing up. Inflatable something or other.
I thought she was throwing up in the bag or something.
She does look sick. I'll give you that.
Like she's throwing up.
Oh, I like that Yankee hoodie though that she's wearing.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
And then I think they have them in the darker blue too.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
I like those quarter zips.
That's JD's Brights and Brew. And on to the BRRs this week. I know you saw. I put up a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
There was Without Remorse. That was the new Tom Clancy movie on Amazon Prime from Michael B. Jordan. Gave it a 6 out of 10. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't enough. It just seemed like it just kind of got right into it. It wasn't any real like hype. Like it kind of shows him before everything. In war, and then he comes home. All of a sudden, his family gets attacked. And he's looking for revenge the whole movie. So it's like kind of like Taken, but he's a lot more angrier. But then he like teams up with some of the people he used to work with. And I felt like the storyline's was kind of dull. Like it was the basic like people trying to make the war between the U.S. and Russia, by setting each other up with fallen soldiers on each side.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it wasn't really anything special about it. Like it wasn't like they didn't do it any type of a different way. Supposedly, some people told me the book is way better. So that was interesting to me. Maybe they left some stuff out, or some stuff couldn't be put in, or I don't know. But I felt like I was expecting a lot more.
Yeah.
Like a lot more fight scenes, kind of like Jason Bourne had, when he's fighting a bunch of dudes hand-to-hand combat. Kind of show what about him makes him so special. He had one scene like that, but it was when he was in jail fighting off people, but it was just like the only time he really fought people. Everything else was just shooting him and interrogating people. That was about it.
Yeah, I don't know. When you don't give it a high grade, Rich, hesitant to watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those like if I'm giving a movie a 6 to 7, that's one of those movies. If it's below a 7, is one of those movies that you have like time and you can't find anything to watch. You could put it on. Thus, a movie I give like a 7 is usually good, but it might be missing a few things. Me like nitpicking at it. But 8 and above definitely I would recommend. And then the same for shows. Like pretty much anything like a show that's a 7. That's a show you could definitely watch, or like when you have time. Any show below that, I don't recommend watching. It's probably time on your hand you wish you had back. The other thing I reviewed was Shadow and Bone. I think it's based off a book, but it was good, man. It was. It seems like Netflix is gonna have a a show to compete with, as far as like a fan base for Stranger Things fantasy realm. It looks good. I don't know what I can compare it to. I don't want to say like Harry Potter or maybe that, but but it looks good though. It's about a girl that come to find out she has like this ability to release like the sun.
Okay.
Supposedly like this guy, he's like an emperor. He made like this darkness, I want to say wall, and in the wall is like a bunch of different creatures, but the creatures are really people that he turned that live in the darkness, but he uses it to protect his like empire, so to say. And he's trying to find, they call him a sunbringer, a woman that can summon like the light, so to say. It's like light versus dark.
Yep.
To get rid of they call it the veil. But ultimately, he's trying to use her to control it, because come to find out, he can actually move the wall or the darkness, so to say. He can control it. So it's kind of the good versus evil, light versus dark. It has some like Avatar Airbender type people in there, which was kind of cool. Then there's other people that are like specialists, like a gun specialist. One girl's an assassin. She has a bunch of different knives, which is cool. I'm just trying not to give it away, but it was an overall good show. It's definitely something you could watch.
Nice.
If you're looking for something, if you like fantasy, sci-fi stuff.
Yep.
And then outside of that, some other shows I'm still watching. And once I get through those, I'll give you some reviews on them.
Nice. Caught up on Mayor of Easttown yet?
Not yet. I just watched the first episode. I know there's only two out, right?
3.
Oh, 3? Oh, that must have came out this Sunday. Yeah, only on those. I only finished the first. I'll catch up on the other 2. I think I'm 1 or 2 episodes behind on City on the Hill.
I'm caught up there. There's only 2 episodes left of that. Getting good there. Handmaid's Tale out. Yeah. First 3 episodes. 4th episode coming out tomorrow. So far, so good there.
I'm watching The Nevers.
You're watching
HBO
Nevers,
Max.
Have you ever seen the movie Promising Young Woman? It's on Netflix. I mean, not Netflix. Amazon Prime.
Nah, I never heard that. What's that one about?
My dad watched it and said it was good. Basically, it's like it's about a woman who was traumatized. I think it was like 2 friends, and something happened, in the past, and they kind of went separate ways, and one kind of couldn't get over it, and or died, I forget. But then the other one kind of like couldn't like stop thinking about it, even though she ended up being successful and basically went back for revenge. It got pretty good ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was like a 91%. My dad watched it. It was good, so that may be one we want to look into. Yeah,
I'll definitely add that. There was a bunch of other stuff I saw that I was like, I gotta check this out. I know there's some new show coming out on Netflix, I think this Friday, about like superheroes. I saw.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
But and the preview looked a little crazy. It looked like they were like killing each other, and it kind of looked like The Boys, but a little more gory. So I thought I would check that out. I forgot the name. I just saw it not too long ago. And then I saw there's another show called The Mosquito Coast. I guess it's about a family with like a dark past that like move around a lot. I think I wanted to see that. Trying to think what else. There was a few other ones I saw like as a previews that I was gonna check out. Oh, it's called Jupiter's Legacy. That's what it's called.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did see that.
And then there was there's a few shows. I almost finished The Circle. That's on Netflix.
I heard that was good too.
Yeah, it's like the social experiment one I told you about. There was a few other ones.
I've heard that Nobody movie is good. Just not paying $20 to rent it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think I have to pay $20 for that.
Good old Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. Breaking Bad. Trying to see. There was I know there's some other movies coming out. There's one called Vanquished. It looks like Wanted with Morgan Freeman. I know Angelina Jolie has one coming out on HBO Max, I think in 2 weeks. I forget what that one was called.
Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what other movies are out.
Yeah, Conjuring's June 4th, Space Jam's July 16th, Suicide Squad August 6th. They're coming slowly but surely.
So I think that might be it.
Nice.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.